Hello, everyone. It is 3:48. It is the day after Thanksgiving, so in typical Thanksgiving fashion, I've awoken from my slumber after stuffing my face and passing out. But what are we talking about today? I thought, it's as good of a time as any to record a video. You're going to see my video quality is a little worse because I'm doing this from my laptop, but hey, always time to learn. So, we are talking about Shodan today. We're going to talk about it very surface level. I'll put more videos later on about more complex queries and Shodan in more depth and more like the scarier side of Shodan. But quite simply, what Shodan is, it's a scanner that is going and scanning every single device connected to the internet. Specifically, they just call it IoT devices, right? So if you have, let's say, like a Ring doorbell, right, and it's connected to the web, chances are Shodan's scanning that, right? If you have, let's say, I don't know, a VSAT system, right, that's like a satellite system on a ship, Shodan's probably scanned that. Now, in typical fashion, laptops, computers, routers, all the things that you would think would be scanned are also scanned. The name of this sort of tool is a spider, right? A spider is something that goes through and scans the web, right, for different IPs and scans through them. And the thing that sets Shodan apart is it's not only scanning the web to see what is available and online, it's also scanning to see what vulnerabilities may exist on those machines, right? It's also scanning to see, for example, if I hit the Explore pane here, right, and I go to default password, scanning, well, hey, which machines and routers use default passwords, right? And as we see here, if we scroll through, we can actually see, let's cross, remind me tomorrow, bedtime. As we see here, it even gives us the credentials that these systems may fall victim to, right? In this case, it's admin, right? Name is admin, password 1234. So Shodan's a very powerful tool, right? And in recent years, one of my favorite hacks that has occurred via Shodan, let's look it up, 50,000 printers hacked, PewDiePie. I'm just putting in some keywords, and I'm going to do in text, which is a Google dorking keyword, which I talk about a little in a previous video. In text, Shodan. I want to make sure I get the one that talks about that. So one of the most famous examples or uses of Shodan, right, was a hacker. I believe the hacker was like a teenage boy, like a very young guy. A hacker hacked into, I hate this. Why is it covering me? A hacker, I can't. I'm a hacker, but I can't even figure out how to get rid of this. Wow, this website sucks. We're going to go to a different one. All right, so as I was saying, this very young hacker was able to hack 50,000 printers, print out a piece of paper that said subscribe to PewDiePie. This was back when PewDiePie was fighting against T-Series in their subscriber war. And, it was pretty insane, right? And this hacker named Hacker Giraffe used Shodan to find all of these printers with default credentials, or in some cases with no passwords, connect to them, and actually utilize the printing capability on them, right? So that's the power of Shodan. Right? Shodan allows you to find these weak and vulnerable systems and abuse that. So today, this video is going to show you how to install it. Right? We'll do the queries later on in a next video. Right? But today, I just want to show how to install Shodan because for us Kali users, it's not that easy. Right? And what do I mean by it's not that easy? Well, if you go to the installation page, right? All I did to go here was how to install Shodan on command line. Right? If you go to this page, and you go to this installation help for Shodan. If you are a new user to Kali and you try to do these steps, it's not going to work, right? If I copy this line, I right-click it, I bring it into Kali, and I do Control-Shift-V, I get that $sign out of the way. You're going to notice real quick, this line doesn't work because, spoiler with Kali's coloring here, pip isn't installed, right? And then you might say, okay, pip isn't installed, this didn't work. Let me go to the troubleshooting and let me try using easy install instead. All right, so let's use this. And then we go and we copy and paste this in and we try it. And that doesn't work because easy install isn't installed. And as you can probably guess with this last one, this is also not going to work, right? Now I know for us seasoned users, you're probably thinking like, this is such an easy workaround. But, I want to make a video for beginners that may be lost on following the steps and hitting all of these walls. The way around this, right, is we're getting this error because pip isn't installed. So the way around it is to install pip, right? And the question is, I'm going to use Control-L to clear my terminal. The question is, how do we do that? Well, if we go over to where was it? If we go over to Google, right, and we do how to install pip on Kali, it's going to give us a really helpful resource here. And if we scroll down, we're going to find that we can install it using the apt install command, right? Key mention, right? Make sure you update first. If you don't update, I've tested this. If you don't update, this package actually will not be available. This will not work, right? So step one to install pip is sudo apt. I'm just going to do update, right? This is going to update all of the packages available to me to use. In my case, it didn't upgrade any really, just because I already did that. Next up, we're going to do sudo apt install, right? If we look back through this, instead of doing pip, which we might be inclined to do, it's actually, the package is called python 3-pip. We're going to hit enter. For those of us familiar with apt, a lot of times we'll ask us, do we want to continue? All you have to do is hit the Y key and hit enter again. All right. Now, I'm going to clear my terminal. This time I'll type clear instead of doing Control L. If I put in pip, instead of highlighting in red, it now highlights in a teal color, which means it's a command that my Kali understands. Keep in mind, this color scheme is only for the newest version of Kali, right? Keep that in mind. Old versions of Kali will not be color schemed the same way. It'll still give an error, though, if you try to do the command. Before installing, if you try to do the command, even if you don't have the color coding, you still get an error. I'm going to jump back. Right now we can follow these instructions because I have pip, right? So all I have to do is copy this line, pip install, right? Just a quick little synopsis on what pip does, right? Let's bring up the man page. Pip is just a tool for taking packages and installing them on your system, right? Installing them on our Kali in this case, right? In terms of the actual options we have here, really not too much. Verbose is the one you'll probably use the most if you're interested in what's going on. But outside of that, really not too much I use. So I'm going to do Control-Shift-V, print the line, right? Pip install -u user, and then the word Shodan, and hit enter. It's going to do some cool little animations, right? And now we're good to go. We have successfully installed Shodan. The key now, right, is when we run this command, Shodan, right? Keep in mind the color scheme will show this is teal now. When we run this command, we'll get all of the options that we can use here, right? All of the options. Just a quick little highlight of some options that are pretty cool. Count. You could do Shodan count Apache, and it will show you it'll show you the number of Apache systems it has scanned. Honey score is really cool. What Shodan does is not only does it scan the web or scan, over the globe for all of these different internet connected IPs, it can actually tell if something is a honeypot or not, right? And for those who are unfamiliar with cybersecurity, a honeypot is basically a trap put out by the defenders. It's something you're supposed to hack, and then when you hack into it, right, they are able to figure out what your attack patterns are, right, and then hopefully counteract that in their main systems. So honeypots are really cool. I actually plan on making a video later about how to set up a honeypot, so stay tuned for that, right? But it looks like our command has successfully worked, right? However, if I do Shodan count Apache, we get an error, right? It says it doesn't work. And the reason for that now is because we actually have to use this init. We have to add our API key here, right? We have to do Shodan. Let me do Control L just to clear. We have to do Shodan init, and then we have to put in our API key. Now, you might be wondering, where do I get my API key? If we go back to right here, I'm going to go back into my actual Shodan console. If I hit, I just hit to return the main menu. If I hit the developer tab up top here, we will get the option to show our API key. Now, I'm sorry, I will not show my API key to you all. I'm actually going to pause the screen record real quick to do this, right? But for you all, in order to get your API key to use for this particular command, right? Just keep in mind you have to click on the developer option, right? You have to hit developer. And keep in mind, I'm going to show you from the start again, right? This is the home page. All I hit was, let me go home page. All right, this is the home page that we were on before. Developer tab is up here, right? And that's when we get the show API key option. All right, so time to pause the video capture. Ooh, wrong one, screen capture. I'm going to get my API key. I'm going to copy it, right? And I'm going to paste it in and hit enter. And it says successfully initialize as long as you did this correctly. All right, screen's coming back on in 3, 2, 1. So now when I do Shodan, what's it called? Count Apache. We shall be able to count the number of Apache systems right on this machine. Or excuse me, not on our machine. We're able to count the number of Apache systems that are just out there floating in the ether that have been scanned by our Shodan spiders. Right, so pretty cool stuff. And so that was a tutorial on how to install, use, just we talked about Shodan, right? So we installed, we used it, and then we talked about some of the applications. Tune in later for more in-depth talks about what we can do with Shodan, right? These are just some simple commands I'm showing, Nginx, right? But we will go deeper into this later on. So that is the installation video. Thank you for tuning in on the day after Thanksgiving. I hope you all have great holidays. Talk to you all later.